There. Now try.
Now try. I'm Chuck. I said a
right.
bunch of words, but who cares?
Try again, Chuck.
Okay. I'm Chuck, Defenders of Cobalt. We start fires, do drugs, wash our hands. It's overall great. We run a lot of games like Zweihander, Dungeon Crawl Classics, Mutant Crawl Classics, Tiny Dungeons, Hyperborea, just everything under the sun. That's me. Yeah.
Okay. And I am Dustin. I am the GM from Tabletop to Keyboard here for Zweihander. I wrote this game. I also wrote Terra and Treefell that took place last year. It is the prequel to this game. You can find all those on our YouTube channel if you want to go back and watch those and get caught up. The first game session for this will take place in 2 weeks, same time here. I'll have some of the technical bugs worked out between now and then, and hopefully we'll find my last missing player. But to my right is Hope Lavelle. Hope, why don't you tell everyone who you are, where they can find you?
Hey everybody, I'm Hope Lavelle. You can find me playing D&D over at D&D Beyond here on Twitch, and playing on the show Beyond Heroes every Wednesday from 2 to 4 PST. We have a lot of fun. Other than that, I'm on a whole bunch of podcasts and stuff, so I'm not even going to mention them. And I'm excited to be here and play.
All right. This is the first time for Zweihander, correct?
It is absolutely my first time, and I'm really excited to roll a random character. It's going to be...
Have you ever rolled a random character before, like for any other games?
Oh, I haven't. So this will be... But I do love doing random things. You know, it really adds to like the improv of everything. So it's going to be so much fun.
Now, to the right of Hope is another probably familiar face, and that is Lindy. So, Lindy, tell everyone who you are and where you're from.
Hi, I'm Lindy of Laugh Love Lindy. You can find me playing 4 different campaigns or more on my own channel. You can also find me throughout the week on Encounter Roleplay, Tales from the Grim, etc. I play a lot of games. Hi, I'm a tabletop addict, and I'm very excited to play Zweihander because it's been on my want to try a games list for a while now, and I finally get to try it out.
So, of all your games, this is your first time with Zweihander as well?
Yes. Yeah, I've played dozens, but this is my first time with Zweihander.
And being experienced with tabletop role-playing games, you've probably done random character creation before.
Oh, yeah. I've done several different systems and types of characters and stuff, so...
Now, my man all the way down at the end, if you're here at Tabletop to Keyboard, probably doesn't need much of an introduction, because you probably see him here all the time, and that is Jeff. And if there's one thing we know about Jeff is he hates random character creation. So he's coming out of his comfort zone a little today. So Jeff, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you're doing here.
Well, believe it or not, I am almost at peak saturation on the channel. It will go up next week. But I'm new to Zweihander. I haven't played it before. We've talked about it a lot on the channel. I'm a co-host with Dustin, as he said, for the Wisdom Check. We play in a lot of the games together. Most of everything that's on the channel we do together, so you probably see me there. And it's going to be a different experience. I'm not used to doing random stuff. I'm not completely opposed to it. I'm going to embrace the chaos tonight. So we're going to see what happens, and let's see if I'm correct that I will end up with the worst possible character of the group. It'll be amazing. I'm looking forward to it.
So, interesting fun fact, that all of us at T22KB got to play on the Zweihander RPG channel in a one-shot called Chateau. And Jeff was the only member of the crew who wasn't able to make it that night. So, like, all the rest of us got to play for that first run except Jeff. So this is his actual first time getting to play Zweihander. So we're pretty excited for him to actually get a chance. He's heard me talk about it ad nauseum for a year, so he's finally getting a chance to roll up a character. And that's what we're going to do next. So without any further ado, we're going to get to character creation, and I'm going to explain this a bit as we go. Those of you who are tuning in and watching, you'll be able to see the rolls taking place right there in the rolls box, assuming that I have that set up correctly, and it looks like it's lined up good. The first thing that we do is we have 7 attributes that we have to roll. And the easiest way to do this in Roll20, which is what we're using today, is if you use your advanced die roller and you set up 3d10 plus 25, then that will roll it and it'll automatically add everything in, and then we'll do those 7 at a time for each of you. So we're going to do these just one person at a time, though. So Chuck, you get the most experience in the group, so what I would like you to do is lead them off with some good, strong scores. And
you got it.
And because we're doing the Grim and Perilous method, you put them in the order that you roll them. So you don't get 7 numbers and then pick where they go. When you roll the first one, that's your combat. Your second one, your brawn, your agility, right down the list.
Play as they lay. Listen,
Play
I'm
as they lay.
because I hate typing. So, my
I copy
combat
these.
score is a tasty 40 points.
40.
I can deal with that, right?
That's tolerable.
It's
That's
all right.
right in the window. 3d10 plus 25.
Oh, he's a
46.
beast. Look at that.
46 for Braun. I'm playing a beefy boy tonight.
You're going to be a socialite or something. It's going to be amazing.
I'm picking Ranger. Listen,
Dang, look at these rolls. 45.
45. Chuck's on
Listen.
fire today.
there's a 40. All right, low 40 of intelligence. I was hoping for a little lower.
Mm-hmm.
42 for Will.
I would say you're doing pretty well in these averages.
I'm doing
He's-
good.
he's
I'm
up there. He's all
honestly
right.
40. I am still a little disappointed at that intelligence. I really like playing stupid characters.
Well, you'll just have to deal with
Oh.
being smarter than the average bear this time.
Yeah,
Chuck.
let's see. So that's 40 for combat, 46 for brawn, 45 for agility. I missed one. 40 for perception, 42 for intelligence, 41 for willpower, and I need to
You
roll
need a
one more.
fellowship.
Yep. So here is my fellowship.
Negative 20.
47.
47. I want to
On
redo. Those are
fire.
way too high.
And now, nice rounded character.
Yeah. I mean, 42
Now-
would be average, right? So
42, if you think of
average,
3d10 plus 25, 40 to 42 is kind of like your average range. So there is a mercy rule called the rule of 42. If you manage to roll all 7 and not get one stat above 42, you get to make one stat 42. So if that happens to you for some reason, you get to have a 42 somewhere. So
it's coming.
Hope that you have to follow that, Hope. So
Good
Oh
luck.
no!
now, if you got your
Good.
character sheet up and you got those circles where I showed you to put these stats, like I said, as you roll them, you can just plug them right in there. So you got a
It's all
46
downhill
for
from here.
combat.
Woo!
Nice.
That is nice.
Good work, team.
Listen, we
Oh
got.
no!
Oh,
32.
Oh, no.
So you're
So
not
not very
brawny.
strong.
You're
That's
just
fine.
not physically big. It's okay.
I like the
fight well.
fight, but I'm
you might be a ranged.
47.
Look at that,
Agility's
you're a
good.
ranged fighter, right? Just
Yeah,
get your
agility.
gun.
yeah,
You're dexterous. You're not beefy.
Yeah.
It's a dexterous fighter.
exactly.
Oh,
boy.
34.
You don't notice
Not
anything. though.
Terribly observant dexterous fighter.
I mean, who needs to see when they're an archer? You know?
All right, let's
Yes,
find out if
right?
I'm smart or not. Am I smart?
Hey, pretty
Oh,
good.
Okay.
That's pretty
There
good.
you
Not
go.
bad, not bad. Willpower.
That's good.
There it is,
That's
Okay.
good.
44.
Ooh,
I'll take it. And
A
there
46.
you go.
Was that
yeah,
one?
not bad.
Is that fellowship?
That's fellowship, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I
Those
assume that's like
aren't
charisma.
Fellowship is kind of a catch-all charisma type stat.
Yeah.
The one thing that's in your stats that when you see it, you're like, well, I don't understand what that really does. Is perception. Your initiative is based on your perception score.
Yeah.
So initiative's done a little differently. We'll cover it when we get to actual game sessions. But perception is based for your range increments for range, and it's also your initiative. So, Lindy,
All right.
You got
Good luck.
this.
Rolls
Got
are
my
going
cat
downhill.
half on the keyboard, so
Oh no.
It's got to be good luck, right? 41.
41,
All right,
that's so far so
Yeah.
good.
A lot of fighters in this group.
39,
that's not bad.
47.
Oh, there you go.
Wow, we're doing well.
Yeah, we
actually.
are. Roll 20s
42.
broken.
You guys are just bleeding out all the luck.
49.
49. Whoa.
Oh,
You're a smart one.
nice.
36, but I don't have a lot of willpower.
That's
that
okay.
makes
You're
sense.
not playing a caster anyway, because you're picking knave.
No.
So you're fine.
Yeah.
36.
36.
All right.
And because you're a knave, no one's going to like you either. So you're
I'm a smart knave.
a smart
The-
knave.
Big catch with willpower is it feeds directly into your peril threshold too.
Your resolve.
I
That
mean,
is
that-
the other thing it does.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I almost
Peril.
always dump at wisdom or strength in D&D, so I'm.
You're-
Who needs
you're
willpower?
good.
Golden,
All right. Now we know
All
that
right.
all the bad luck has been waiting for the guy who hates the random character generation. So Jeff,
It's distilled down to the end here. Let's see what happens.
You get to go here next.
28's down the line.
There's
Oh.
a good start.
33. That's where we're going.
Levi is ecstatic in the chat. He's
Oh my god!
20. How, is that even possible?
28 is the lowest score you can get.
28 is the worst. 28 to 55 is the range.
Oh,
Holy!
Okay, Jeff. Just
Hey,
hey,
there you go.
52.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Agile.
So
It's gonna be a little
agile.
extreme. Okay, all right. I don't know where we're going from here, but
He beat my 49, so there you go.
He did.
36.
oh my god, this character is going to be amazing.
This is
Leave it to
great.
the guy that doesn't like random
49?
characters to get the most
Okay.
random ass character.
Yeah, I am very extreme apparently.
It-
Let's see.
Yeah.
All is not lost yet. Don't worry.
Oh, it's getting there.
That's amazing.
I'm rolling like a champ. Let's see. Fellowship, come on.
You can do it.
Come on.
Hey, that's
All
not
right.
Matt, there you go.
All
All
right.
right.
Equally smart.
Now,
I appreciate
again,
this.
this is a D100 system, so this base attribute is what you have to roll under in order to succeed at any skill test. And again, you're going to get skills that are going to give you a 10% bonus. So all is not necessarily lost in the world. And you're going to find that a lot of the skills, even in combat, you're going to roll a lot of things that are not combat, even in combat. There's things called perilous stunts that use brawn, agility, all these other things. There's going to be things you can do, and
Yeah.
you're going to gain some other cool stuff here pretty
Well, that's
shortly.
good because I basically have like 3 stats that don't exist. So
Yeah,
just round it out. We're good to go.
you're doing all right. You'll make good use of that agility, I promise you.
I got some monstrous
Now,
low stats.
We are missing Alex, who I put a call out to, and I haven't heard back from him yet. So he may have to do his off stream between if I get hold of him between games once I find out what's happened to him. So now that we have our primary attributes in play, again, your 10s die in each one of those will create your bonus. All that's calculated by your sheet. You'll see all that has been filling in as you go. We are going to move on to the next thing we do, and that is Ancestry. And again, Zweihander is kind of breaking away from the concept of races for a lot of good reasons. We want to kind of move away from this idea that characters are super heavily defined by this idea of a race, that we want them to be more individualistic. So what Zweihander has done is created ancestries. They do have a few stat bonuses that apply just to the bonus, not to the actual stats that you just rolled. So you'll see those numbers move up and down based on what you get here. Zweihander is in general considered to be humanocentric. Everyone is by default a human, and if you would like to remain a human, you may speak now or forever hold your peace. Otherwise, you're going to roll on a handy chart,
I have
and
a
you're
question.
going to remain something not human when you're done.
I have a question.
Okay, Chuck.
Are you allowing monstrous ancestries?
No.
Okay, I'm staying human.
All right.
I'm gonna be human.
I'm not saying you won't become a monstrous ancestry before this game is over.
There's
You're
always
just
a
not
chance.
starting out as one. So
I can't be a giant rat person to start out
you
with.
cannot be a
that'd be-
Skazrak to start the game, no.
What are our options for
The
those of us who may
options
not?
on the chart, there are 5 options. You are either a human, or you roll on a chart that includes dwarf, elf, gnome, halfling, and ogre.
Okay. All right. What do you think, Hope? What are you going to do?
Oh man, I'm gonna roll for it, man.
Me too.
So we need
Yeah.
we need just a straight percentile D100 roll, which is what you're going to be using pretty much throughout the rest of character creation. So light up the
You wanna
rolls
go
and let's see
first?
what you get.
After you. Could be like an ogre, super dexterous,
An
super weak.
84. You're an ogre.
Oh, there you go.
And I have no brawn. All right.
So up there where it says Ancestry with a capital
the
O,
beanpole
type ogre, and you will see that it gives you a +2 to your combat bonus and a +2 to your brawn bonus, and -2 to like intellect and fellowship, I think, if I had to think of it off the top of my head.
Just completely counteract all of your rolls.
Right. Great.
You ready for
That
this?
Ogre is the only ancestry that has 2s in anything. Everyone else is +1s, -1s, or 0s. So
Mm.
I do want to point out though, the nice thing about all these ancestries in Zweihander is even if you got a shitty score on what you're wanting to do, you can still be a very effective character.
you
So,
can. I always tell people
Yeah.
don't fret about the initial base attributes. Like
Yeah.
you will not notice a difference 2 game sessions in hardly. Like it's.
Oh, I'm leaning into it.
So
ready for me?
who else was after seeing that? Who else wants to be human again? Okay, so
I'm sticking with my original answer.
Jeff?
Yeah.
Human.
I know you're
I got
rolling.
an
so
11. I got an 11. Let's do it.
you're a dwarf.
Ooh, there you go.
I'm a very agile dwarf. Okay. All right.
You know,
Dwarf it is. I see it shaping up. We know where this is going. Levi already
Wow.
called it.
As we kind of discussed, I discussed with them before we started, and we're going to talk a little bit about it now. With the concept of Ancestry, again, you're not a long list of traits that make up being an elf or being a dwarf. You're a few physical things that kind of add or subtract in certain areas based on being what you are. And then you get a cool ancestral trait. Everyone gets one ancestral trait, even humans. So we're going to let the humans go first so they can have some fun.
You do it.
There is an ancestral chart for each ancestry. It is a D100 roll, and this will tell us what your ancestral trait is. And Chuck got a 32 for human.
Esoteric Memory.
Esoteric Memory. Now, this is a good one. What that means is that Chuck cannot fail memory test.
Yeah.
So if Chuck needs to remember something from 3 game sessions ago, I just get to tell him. And I
got
consider
24.
this one of the best things to have for new players. And of course, the one guy with all the experience is the one who rolls it. So,
Listen,
what did you get, Lindy?
personally-
24?
24.
You have Dauntless. So I will read Dauntless to you.
Yes, please.
Dauntless says, humans' sheer force of will helps them withstand many challenges. Rarely do they cross the threshold of fear and darkness, as their stalwart nature shields them from the horrors that surround them. The effect is, you are immune to the effects of the Intimidate skill. You
Cool.
cannot be stunned or knocked out, which is pretty awesome. So you are Dauntless.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The humans,
Take it.
in my opinion, have the best ancestry tree. They really
I mean, it
do.
sounds like
it's
it.
amazing.
They're pretty good.
So, who else is human?
It's almost like the author really favored them.
It is true.
It
is
was
that-
just the two
that's
of
it for
us.
my humans, right?
Yep.
Okay, so because it's an order,
A very mysterious fifth character.
yeah,
that
our
we have
fifth
no
character
idea.
will show up as an amorphous blob in game 1 because that's how we do.
Mhm.
Dwarf, your next chart on the list. So Dwarf, go ahead
All
and
right,
give me a
what do I roll?
D100.
D100? All right, /R 1D100. A 33.
33 says you
I'm just
have
continuing my trend.
Dwarven Warfare.
Okay, good thing my combat's so low.
Hold on, let's see what it says. It could be good. Dwarven Warfare. Dwarves use their lower center of gravity to drive cold steel into their opponent, crushing armor and shattering bones beneath its impact. Coupled with familiarity of stone cutting and wood splitting tools, it makes dwarves incredibly efficient when defending themselves. When wielding any two-handed melee weapon, using both hands, any attempt to parry automatically succeeds,
Whoa!
providing
Okay.
you have the action point to spend a parry.
That
So
seems
automatic
pretty
parry
strong.
is pretty awesome for someone who can't actually hit with it. So,
I'm pretty proud of my my rolling here. It's
so
going well.
that's gonna make you a very stalwart little dwarf.
I can't wait to be a caster that doesn't use two-handed
Oh,
weapons.
let's skip ahead now to ogre.
Well, who says that you can't use two-handed weapons as a caster? That's
I will randomly roll that I only have one hand.
Let's see
so
what the
it's-
profession is, because let's see what his profession becomes, and then we'll see exactly how much that's going to come into use.
It's gonna be great.
All right, so ogre, you have a D100 roll here, and you got a 72. Okay, your ancestral feature is rot gut spray.
My God.
Ogres have a natural predilection towards drink. Due to their almost furnace-like guts, they can ignite any alcohol they ingest to shoot it back out as a gout of flame. This is both
that's-
very dangerous and quite entertaining.
That's
cool.
So,
badass.
as an
Yeah.
effect, after consuming an entire bottle of rot gut, you can belch it up as a flaming breath. Treat this breath as a bottle bomb. However, you must immediately make a toughness test to become intoxicated.
Oh, that is bad fucking ass. That
So
is-
you have fiery breath if you drink.
Oh, that
I
is so cool.
Chuck is so jealous. Chuck, for those of you who are not familiar with Chuck, he is a pyromaniac at heart. So anytime anything can burn, Chuck is all about it. So
Yeah,
would
there's
never
certain
predict
things I still can't talk about because the statute of limitations have not passed.
Where
again,
does that go on my sheet?
if you down there on the first page, if you just want to write it down there where it says traits and there's all those lines, I will, again, this is something that I will program into your talents and trappings page where you'll be able to click on it and pull it up there on the screen so we can read it again in the future. So this now that we have your ancestries and your ancestral traits figured out, and your character's starting to take a little more shape, it's time to move on to one of my favorite parts, and that's the profession.
Here it comes.
So in Zweihander, if you are going full grim and perilous, oh hey, wait a minute, we have an Andrew.
Oh my gosh!
Or an Alex, sorry.
New
We have an
challenger.
Alex.
Hey
New
guys,
challenger has joined us. Hello, welcome.
how is it going?
Hey
Going
Alex,
over. You have
It
a
is
chance
good
to
to see
roll
ya.
as bad as me.
we're going to go ahead and let him get caught up to where you are real quick.
Amazing. Welcome.
So thanks for being able to make it, Alex, and joining us. I was a little worried about you there at first.
Of course,
I
I thought I needed to be here at 5:30 Eastern, or 5:30 Central, and it said 4:30 Central, and it's actually 5:45 Central now, so I'm all fucked up. But
It's all right. I'm just glad you're able to make it here. If you can get into roll 20 with the invite you had been given, I will. We'll get you your stats rolled and get you caught up. They're only real. They're just now getting to the profession, so they're just now getting to the real good part.
Leviathan, I will try my hardest to roll that. That has been my aspiration since the beginning.
To get
See
prostitute.
what happens.
Can we all roll
It's going to
that?
happen.
Just have
Yes,
a-
it's possible you all can,
Is it
but it's
traveling
very
true?
Are we
Sure.
all rolling?
Oh, you know what
All
we're
right.
trying to do.
No.
So if you find your character sheet there, Andrew, and you open it up on the first page, it's on skills and attributes. And if you go down, you'll see combat brawn. You'll see score things over there to the left. What I need you to do is in your advanced die roller, type 3d10 plus 25, and we're going to have you roll 7 times, and they will go in those circles.
3d10 plus 35.
25
25.
plus 3d10, and that gives you your starting score for those attributes.
Let's see if he can get a score lower than me.
Where
It's
is
almost
the
impossible.
advanced dice roller?
If you see the little d20 over there on the left column action bar thing, on the left, it'll give you advanced die rollers, the last option. You
Also
pull it
just
up,
slash.
it lets you. Yeah,
Oh,
you can just slash it if you want to type it each time. But once
Or
you
you
have
can
it,
type
Copy and paste.
paste.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Lindy's on my game plan. That's right.
I don't
Right
have time
there.
for this advanced die roller stuff.
Listen,
Okay.
you just type it
He's
in
got-
once, and
there
then you
you
just
go.
press up.
Ooh,
Yeah.
33 to
refill.
start off.
So 33 to start, that goes in your combat score.
That's exactly what I rolled for my
And
first
then
one.
you just write these, you play them as they lay. So go ahead and do that.
Just hit up and then enter. You'll be good.
Wow, the magic of roll 20.
Yeah, roll 20 is pretty sweet.
It does things not
43
so
for
horrible.
brawn.
There you go.
Pretty good score. So we got a brawny boy.
Yeah, and I kind of wanted to come into this with just no preconceived notion. I wanted to do everything random.
36.
That's
You
what
are.
this is.
So far, you're doing good. 36 for agility.
You're rolling right in my wheelhouse.
43.
43 perception. Nice.
41 for intellect.
We got some
Not
smart
bad.
people in the group.
Disappointingly,
49 for willpower, right?
Nice.
Yeah. That's probably a good one
He'd
to have.
make a good caster if he gets one.
there you go.
Oh, look at that fellowship roll.
29.
Not anyone's friend.
No one's
One
friend.
minimum. There you go.
Now,
So you and I are brothers now because I've got a 29 brawn. You
Oh,
got a
wow.
29 fellowship, so it's one off the lowest possible roll.
now we're going to, like I
That's
said,
funny
fast.
because usually I build charisma-based characters, so this is going to be an interesting
Incredible.
change.
Now,
of pace.
there's nothing saying you may not be charismatic before you're done. When we get to professions, you'll see how a lot of this changes your base ability to do things. We'll get there, don't you worry. But so those are your base raw attributes, and those are what fuel your skills. And we'll talk. I talked a little bit with the other players prior to, and I'll get you caught up afterwards if we have a little time. But we are going to go ahead and fast track you along. The next thing that we need to do is your ancestry, and there's a space for ancestry at the top of your sheet. And everyone is default human. The world is considered to be humanocentric, so everyone is human, unless you want to roll on a chart to be something not human. And there are 5 options: dwarf, elf, gnome, halfling, and ogre.
I'm okay being human.
You want to stay human?
All right.
Okay, then we will move you to the human ancestry chart. And I need a D100 roll, percentile roll. A 62,
62.
gives you mixed bloodline. So much for
Oh.
being human. So, one of your human ancestors or parents coupled with another ancestry and passed along elements of the bloodline down to their children. The effect: randomly generate another ancestry on your own of whichever you interpret the possible alterations of your parents and cultural values. Should you share Dwarven heritage, you may have a mercurial disposition. Sharing Elven heritage, you may fly into Fey rages. Yada yada, so on and so forth. So what I need you to do now is go ahead and roll.
And now you have to roll at that other
You have to roll.
Just take that. Yeah.
So 62. 62 will make you
60.
Halfling.
a halfling. So you're a half halfling. You're half human, half halfling.
Is that like quarter?
That's a 3/4ling.
I believe it's like a quarter orc. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quarter orc.
We did have a quarter orc one time. His name was Corduroy.
How do I write that down in my ancestry? Just human
Okay.
/ halfling?
Just
Right human.
Yeah.
You leave human because you keep the human modifiers, but you get an ancestral trait from halfling. So
Okay.
you'll have to just keep that in mind.
Yeah. And make sure you do a capital H at the start of human,
Yeah.
and then hit enter, and it'll update your stats.
Right.
It's just like plugging in Unix code.
So-
Capitalization matters.
Yeah. I need a D100 on the halfling chart now to see what your ancestral trait is.
Oh, I hope it's something cool. Like second breakfast.
Oh,
That would be great. That would be great.
77.
77.
Oh, you got low blow. I had this one in the Zweihander campaign. You are a master of hitting people where it hurts. So it's literally
That's
a low
fantastic.
blow.
Lauren had a double deal from being a half.
So, when cornered, a halfling will resort to nasty tricks to fell a foe. Menfolk are known to gasp in horror whenever they bear witness to this heinous and deliberately painful a tactic. Whenever you make a successful melee attack, you can force a foe to resist stunning blow. You must be engaged with a foe in order to use low blow. I had
Well,
it on
now
my
we know
halfling.
why his-
It's fantastic.
Now we know why his fellowship is so low.
That's why his
Yeah.
fellowship is so low. What stunning attack does is every round in combat you start with 3 AP. A stunning blow will reduce you to 2 AP to start out that round. So
Harsh.
stunning blow is harsh, and I used it to great effect with a cudgel.
Oh, it's so great. It's so great.
Now we are here to where we were talking about archetypes.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do is I have given everyone the option, much like with your ancestry, to pick the archetype you want to be. Or you can roll random. Now, who wants to roll random? All right, we got two.
Let's do this.
We got two that are
I'm
going.
happy. I'm happy to roll random.
You wanna
I'm
roll
happy
random
to
as
keep
well?
riding
We
this
got-
train.
We got 3 rollers. So what I do is the people who are not going to roll random are going to go first. Because
All right.
I don't want people picking, seeing what everyone else has, and then deciding what they want to be based on that. Because that's exactly what Zweihander has built this system against, is figuring those kinds of things out. So those of you who know what you want to play, there are 6 archetypes. The archetypes are as follows. There's academics, there are commoners, knaves, rangers, socialites, and warriors. So for those of you who know what you want to be, and I believe, Chuck, you know what you want? What are you going to play? What archetype?
Yeah, I want to play a ranger.
Wants to play a ranger. Now, if you're familiar with the D&D term ranger, you know them as outdoorsy woodsmen. And this
Yeah.
does not deviate terribly from that. But it does have some other options in there that you don't think of when you think of ranger. So, Chuck, I'm going to move to the main Gauche book now.
Oh.
And you're going to give me a D100. We're going to find out what your profession is.
So, my percentile is a 55. Oh, god dang it. I missed by one.
You're an outrider.
Outrider. I'm still okay with Outrider. I was hoping
Alright.
for that 54.
Now, because we are playing my my special rules, Chuck,
Yeah.
there's 2 things that you have triggered all in one roll.
Oh,
One.
I'm so happy.
I had an outrider in Terror and Treefell. The character Nadia
Cool.
was an outrider.
Let's throw Outrider out the window.
So we are throwing outrider out. I will let you re-roll, or you can take what I rolled for you last night.
What did you roll?
I'm not telling you. You have to
Oh.
pick. You can either re-roll or you can take what's behind door number 1, Chuck. And I'm just going to tell you right now, it may not be a ranger.
But
I'm
wait,
gonna-
Brady.
I'm gonna re-roll.
Chuck's going to reroll.
63.
63.
That is a. Oh, I'll take Pilgrim.
You're
All
a
right, I'll
pilgrim.
fuck with
A pilgrim.
A pilgrim.
Okay.
I told you there are things you don't consider ranger on that list.
that. Yeah, buddy.
So we'll
Uh,
go over what those professions do here in a little bit. So right now, Chuck, you're a pilgrim. Now,
I
I'm
don't
a
know what they
pilgrim.
do. They put belts on their hats.
now, Chuck,
I mean,
I need a belt.
I did pre-assign a character profession here that I rolled last night, and I have
What'd
them
you get?
right here in my handy little book.
What is it? I want to know what I missed.
Do you want what's behind door number 1, or are you taking pilgrim?
I'll take what's behind door number 1.
Chuck,
oh boy.
you are a knave, and you are a smuggler.
Oh, shit! Han shot first. I'll take that.
I like that.
So
That's a
Chuck
good
has
one.
traded in for a knave. He is a smuggler, and he does get the class trait Han shot first, which means in combat, Chuck gets to go first in initiative and gets 3 AP to do what he wants with, and then he takes his normal initiative wherever he is on the ladder. So he gets to go
Right.
first, and even if he's surprised, Chuck will go first because Han shot first.
Oh, that is badass.
So-
All right, I am
pretty
excited.
good.
So
Very
Chuck,
excited.
you're a smuggler. Who else was going to pick what they wanted? Lindy was, right? You wanted to be a knave as well.
I did. Commoner was real tempting because I'm a sucker for peasants and the common folk, and I like Doomsayer. But I already play like a peasant type character in 2 other campaigns right now, and I couldn't.
You got to switch streams a little bit.
I gotta.
So what are you
I don't
switching
want them all
to?
mixed up. So I'm going knave.
You're going knave as well. So give me a D100 roll.
I'd love to.
Got a bit
22.
22. Oh man, you're a convict.
Wonder.
You're one of the main gauche professions. So
I would love
convict.
to be a convict. This sounds amazing. Am I an escaped convict? or
We
just
could
a-
figure that part. I'm assuming you're escaped.
Wonderful.
You're not going to spend all of
Oh,
your
you
time.
never know.
You never know, but you may be
Yeah.
back there. But you're going to
Every great fantasy game starts off in a prison, right?
You gain the.
Right.
Oh, hold on.
convict. So,
I'm
You
so
gain
happy.
the class trait of Jailhouse Rock, which
Okay.
states whenever you parry a melee weapon, immediately make an opportunity attack.
Prison shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You may only
I love
make
it.
this attack if you're wielding a melee weapon of the brawling type. So when we get around to picking weapons
Okay.
and stuff later, you need a brawling weapon. So what's your
Cool.
brawn score again?
My brawn is 39.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna like
Yeah.
that much. But you know what? Well, you'll find something that'll make it work. It's all
Yeah.
right.
Combat's good. My brawn is awful.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
We're great in the brawn department around this party.
That only determines the damage on a brawling weapon, but at least you get to make the attack. So.
Yeah.
All right, now, just like Chuck, I also pre-rolled a profession for you. Would you like to stay with convict that you
Yeah, I
rolled?
want to stay with convict.
Okay then,
That sounds awesome.
because
I'm curious to know what it is, but I'm sticking with convict because
Yeah.
you're gonna like. I'm telling you, it's a heck of a swing from what I rolled. I rolled an academic, and I rolled
Oh.
I rolled an adherent,
Oh,
yeah, no,
which is a
I'm
nun. So you went from convict to nun. It could have been the transition you just made,
Yeah.
but you're gonna stay with convict. So,
Oh yeah.
so you
Yeah.
get
Get that
you get to be
adherent
a convict.
master.
Yeah, I
Which
don't
makes
wanna
Chuck
be a
happy. He did not want to run around with a nun. So
Listen, there's plenty of nuns that do all sorts of badass things. Let's not
now,
knock
was this-
nuns.
was
None of my
that
business. But I'm gonna stay convict.
was that the end of my selected archetypes? All right.
So yeah, let's do
Everyone
it.
else is gonna take their luck with the wheel of chance here. So
Here we go, universe.
let's start.
It's gonna go good places here.
Yeah, let me get back to the table I need here. Okay. I'll tell you what, Alex. I'm gonna go just across the screen here. So I'm gonna start with you. So give me a D100 roll. 98. That's a warrior.
Extreme value. All right.
Now give me a second D100 roll, and we will see what kind of warrior you are.
82.
82.
One of those high values.
Oh man, you did it too. You're a sellsword.
Ha! Nice.
Now, I will tell you this much: sellsword appeared in Terra and Treefell. I had a sellsword. In fact, I've had a sellsword in every Zweihander game I have been in. It seems impossible to have another sellsword. I won't make you re-roll it if you want to stay a sellsword, because it's a pretty good profession. But if you want to play something that hasn't appeared on screen already, I would give you the option to re-roll like I did, Chuck.
I will go ahead and re-roll just for
All
the sake of variety.
All right. All right.
Although
all right.
Sword does go pretty well with the low blow ability I've got from being a halfling.
A 30.
30. I really just want a big old
You're
sword. I want a big old Zweihander.
You're a dragoon.
Oh. Okay.
Like a knight?
Yeah.
Half
cool.
halfling dragoon.
He's a half-halfling dragoon.
That's what I said. It's like half the halfling he could have been.
I mean, jockeys are really short.
That's true. Maybe you ride like a greyhound or something, you know?
So that is fantastic. So you're going to be a dragoon.
I'm cool for that.
Now,
Nice.
like everyone else, I did pre-roll you a profession, and you can take what's behind door number 2 if you so desire. Or do you want to
I'll
stick with?
stick with it.
You're going
I'm
to
gonna
stick
stick
with
with
dragoon.
Dragoon.
All right, he's going to play them like they lay.
Sure. Dragoon sounds pretty sweet.
What did
Just
I miss out?
title alone.
Awesome title.
Oh, you were going to be a ranger, my friend, and you were gonna find yourself as a reeve, which is a road
You
guard.
chose well.
So
You chose well. Dragoon.
So you did. You probably chose well. Dragoon sounds more fun than Reeve, if you ask me. So, big
So
fan
do I
of that.
type Dragoon into profession or warrior into profession?
Up there, profession? Yeah, just type in Dragoon.
Nice. All right.
All right. So Hope,
I'm looking forward to see what Hope's ogre is going to be.
I need a D100 to see what your ogre is. A 10. You're an academic ogre.
What?
It's fantastic. An academic ogre that breathes fire.
Hey,
What? in the
Chemistry,
hell?
man. It's just chemistry.
it's
Oh,
just
there you
chemistry.
go. You're chemistry.
That works.
So, give me another D100 here, and we'll see what kind of academic you are.
That's amazing.
Boy.
50, right on the nose. You're a forger.
Oh.
Okay.
You do forgeries.
It's important.
Now,
Well, we got a
Hope-
criminal, so I mean, it works.
We're a bunch of upstanding citizens here.
I did re-roll you one, and if you don't know if forger sounds like what you want to be, you can take what's behind door number 3.
You know what? First time playing something, I probably don't want to be the intelligent one. I think this time I will take what's behind door number 2.
All right, you're
Oh,
a
boy.
knave archetype, and you're a fence. You sell
Oh.
illegal goods,
Nice.
so you're a
I
fence.
can't get it.
I like it.
That is
good.
from Main Gauche, so I will provide you all the rules for that profession. And its fun little ability is called Thief Spawn. Any
It all
object
ties together.
you fence is treated and appraised at its full value. Furthermore, you may flip the results to succeed at the skill test to identify and sell stolen goods.
That's pretty sweet.
So
I like that.
You also have a drawback called Black Marketeer. Some professions have drawbacks, and yours is one of them. And it says, whenever attempting to buy, sell, or trade stolen goods, you cannot use fortune points to modify your skill test. So you have to take whatever you roll.
Okay.
So that's what you got. You are an ogre fence who goes
I like
out
it
and
a lot.
sells illegal stuff.
Okay.
I can see
Jeff?
it already.
I know this is the part that has probably caused you the most anxiety all week.
Oh, I can't wait to see the terrible.
Jeff, you have
So-
landed firmly in Ranger.
Oh, the one I didn't want. Hey, Fruitzilla, subscribed. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Fruit.
Thanks.
Good to see you.
Now, Jeff,
What-
why don't you go ahead and give me that D100 roll? We'll see what kind of Ranger you are.
There's always door number 2.
Well, there's
Oh, that's right.
always door number
43.
43.
Is that old believer?
An old believer. He got Old Believer. Okay, so
What is an old believer?
Old Believers are effectively druids.
Yes.
They're casters, but they're not casters all at the same time. Unlike most of the casting classes in the game, they only get like basically one spell, and they can basically cast it without having to roll. They just
They
automatically
cast
get one.
it at critical success.
So you get to pick one spell out of the Grimoire and be like, you can do this critically every time you want to do it.
Listen, that's what Kozel was, and
Chuck's
I
played
was dying to play fucking Old Believer. So,
Or do you want what's behind door number 2, Jeff? Now,
See, I knew this was going to happen.
Druids
I knew it was
have the
gonna
"I won't bring harm to any ancestry"
Right.
drawback. So just
happen.
remember
See,
you
that's
have that.
pretty
too.
severe. Okay, so I can't do any harm to anybody. Yeah, I'm going to take the Nether Door. Let's get rid of this Ranger and probably get another Ranger.
No, Jeff.
Please be what I
You're
want.
under socialite.
Yes.
ooh,
Jeff, you get to play a rake.
Oh, ace.
shit!
If
Oh my God.
if Old Believer was a number 2 on Chuck's list,
Rake
Rake
is number
certainly
one.
number 1.
All right.
You get the
Rake is
trait
so badass.
Magnificent Bastard,
Yeah,
which means that foes cannot resist your perilous stunts.
It's
Oh my
true. They really can't.
You will, however, start the game out as a lowborn when it comes to social class time, so just remember that as well. So you are a socialite
Lowborn.
and you are a rake.
listen,
All right.
Old Believer was my number 1. Rake was number 2.
I'm okay with
Rake
this.
is so badass. All right,
It is
works.
pretty good.
Now that I've rolled down, be right back.
All right, so
Get
what
outta here.
what those archetypes do is, again, those determine your starting gear. I'm not going to read through your list of starting gear. We will come back at the end and look at your archetypes to determine what your weapon selections and the few things you get to pick will also be. So, that is a cool thing that we'll do later. We are going to go ahead and move ahead to your season of birth. Now, I will be the first person to tell you that currently season of birth only does one and one thing only, and that determines which chart you roll on next. So, it is a D100 roll, and we will start with Alex.
All right. Anything but the season of the witch.
A 7. You are springborn. Chuck,
I'm a springborn in real life, so that's fitting.
let's see.
17.
17.
You are also springborn.
All right,
Hope, and 87. You are winterborn.
there you go.
Lindy,
64.
you are autumnborn.
I'll take it.
And Jeff is back just in time to find out what season he was born in. Jeff, a D100 for your season. Don't break your mic.
62.
You are also autumnborn. Now,
What did everyone else get?
we got a nice mix.
Yeah.
2 springs, 2 autumns, and a winter.
No summers. No
Where
summers.
does this go?
No sweet summer child.
Just put it in traits or in your background, because all it determines is which chart you roll on for your dooming. Now, for those of you who are new to Zweihander, what season you were born in determines how you die. So, there's a thing called a dooming, and in the world of Zweihander, kind of a rite of passage is you're taken before a mystic who throws the bones, reads your palm, checks the stars, and then gives you an ominous threat about how your life will end. And that's called a dooming. So
Nice
we're
guy,
gonna,
that one.
So we're going to find out what each of your doomings are. And that's based on which season you were born in. So if you were a springborn, and I know we had at least one spring, right?
2.
I am.
2.
Yeah.
So Alex, give me a D100 roll, and then I will read you your dooming.
I can be killed by no man until the forest marches on the castle, right?
94. A trick is not an illusion.
Hmm.
Now, what it really is, what your dooming really is is you just get style points if you manage to die and make your dooming come true. It's purely for style points. I've seen plenty of characters die in no way, shape, or form related to their dooming, but when things start to look dark like you ain't gonna get out, just reread that dooming one more time and see if you can pull that baby off on the way out. You just get style points, and kind GMs like myself will even let you pick your profession if you manage to make it happen. So when you roll a new character, so that's what you got to look forward to if you make that dooming happen. Chuck, give me your D100 roll for spring.
36.
36.
Beware fairy rings and standing stones.
Yes, fairy rings and standing stones.
All right, I can watch out for that.
Good thing I wasn't that old hermit guy.
That's right, the old believer.
Yeah.
He might have had problems then.
And just immediately we join the party, die, or kill me off.
Now,
No!
we had at least one of not two Autumnborns, I believe, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
So,
Team Autumn.
Lindy, you were Autumn, so go ahead and give me a D100 roll.
93.
93.
I'm an achiever. Let's see what I get.
Avoid the exotic when possible.
Oh, well. I'm not going to
No.
tell you where I'm in prison then. We'll see.
Yeah, stay away from Joe.
Jeff,
I think that
you're
was my
Autumn as well.
foretelling, and I'm like, embrace it. Let's go.
27.
27. This is the most ominous one yet.
I love it.
It just says, "You shall not see the end."
That just means I'm going to be blind.
Yes.
Oh.
Maybe. Who knows? But you
I'm going to
will
go
not see
around
the
my
end.
entire career with a blindfold on.
And that brings us to a winter. Who's our winterborn?
It's me.
That's Hope.
Oh, yeah.
So D100, 19. The oldest are the strongest.
Okay.
That's actually a return. We had that one in Terra and Treefell as well.
That's a goodie.
All right. So the next thing on our little list of things that we're going to roll, and you will see a place on there where it says your age and it's a number. Just kind of disregard that for the moment, because what you're really going to do is roll an age category. And age does not have any modifiers, negative or positive. It just determines how old your character is, effectively, for whatever ancestry they are.
I really hope
it
I'm a
is-
young convict. That'd be fantastic.
It is
Oh.
a D100 roll to determine your age category. For every age above young that you get, you will gain an additional distinguishing mark, which we will do next. So I always like to not roll young, because I like at least one mark, but that's just me. So
I just want
Alex,
to be a 12-year-old convict. That's it.
Yeah.
I just think that'd be hilarious.
I want you to. I wish you were the elf that had the 900-year-long life sentence. It's so
I guess that's a question. Are the ancestries like we expect them to be? Like, is a dwarf
Sometimes.
like the stereotypical dwarf, or is that
somewhat.
Okay.
Not fully, but somewhat.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and roll age group. So Alex, kick us off here with a D100 roll for age group. And
8.
you're young.
I'm a baby.
You have no distinguishing marks. You haven't lived enough
Young
life.
Dragoon.
You're a apparently dragoons don't live to old age, so only the young ones are out.
Sure.
Chuck, you know the deal.
I sure do. Let's. Ooh,
60. You're an adult.
adults. That's a little disappointing.
Wah, wah, wah.
Now, this chart is
Mark.
weighted. It's not an even percentile across all the
yeah.
age groups, so
So you want me to roll my distinguishing mark?
not yet. We're going to go to
Okay.
that next for people that have them. Hope, go ahead and give me a roll for your group. 69.
Nice.
You are still an adult. You were a whole 1 percentile away from being middle-aged.
Hey.
Lindy?
If it'll ever roll. 21.
21. You are young. No
Yes.
distinguishing marks.
I mean, I wanted a distinguishing mark, but now I can be like a crazy child convict.
Distinguishing marks are kind of fun. There's some cool
That's
stuff.
pretty
on the
funny.
list. They have no stat bonuses. They're just fun things about your character.
Mhm.
So. Jeff,
Oh, here it comes. I want it so bad to be old.
you're young.
Oh,
You're
Yeah.
a bunch of young people with
It is
two
a bunch of greenies who haven't experienced life yet. So who got some distinguishing marks out of the group?
I got one.
Is that it? Is it just Chuck? No,
No, Hope got one.
Hope got one.
Yeah.
So Chuck, it's a D100 roll for 100 possibilities, and Chuck rolls an even 50. He has a large hairy mole somewhere.
Ah!
Yes.
Oh,
Somewhere visible, probably.
right there.
Right there on the cheek, a large hairy mole.
Large hairy mole on my cheek.
All right, so hope you had one as well. An 18. You have bulging eyes. So your big ogre has some bulging eyes.
I can do my special eyes.
Again, these
That's
have
why I
no
close mine.
these have no effect on your ability to see or anything else. It's just something that's true about your character.
You're such a weird.
So one of the other things that Zweihander has done is that they have pushed for this idea that they want the characters to not essentially kind of come out whitewashed. They want everyone to have different complexions. So you roll your complexion in Zweihander.
Okay.
There's no such thing as like a drow elf where they're automatically. Oh, is my screen freezing? Showing. It's kind of
possibly.
I think it's kind of glitching for a second, but it's back. So you get to roll your complexion. It's a D100 roll, and there's all kinds of options on here. So, and they're not done up by Ancestry. It's all the same chart. So, Alex, go ahead and give me your first roll.
All right. 37.
37 lands you on
In a
light
row.
tan.
White tan.
And there's places down there for traits. You can just type it down there or put it in the background. That big block, you can just write all kinds of stuff in there. I can find it later if needed. Chuck?
Oh, what am I doing? I'm rolling a percentile.
Yes, you are.
Let's see. 70.
70. You have
Light brown.
You have light brown skin.
All right.
Hope.
All right. 49.
49. You have tan skin.
All right, I'm tan.
Lindy.
I can't see over the cattail. 60.
You have dark tan.
Cool.
Jeff.
94.
You are ebony.
Nice.
Ooh, beautiful.
I am.
Now, the next thing that we roll for is our build type. Build type actually does have a little bit of something to do mechanically. Their normal is in the middle, but if you get slender or frail, you actually get a reduction on, like, basically your food cost and armor, because it doesn't take as much materials to make armor and weapons for you. So you get a reduction. It's actually almost a benefit to be smaller. If you get husky or corpulent, there is a bonus to how much it costs to feed you and to clothe you. So it doesn't always come up too much, but that is sort of the only real modifier in the game is how much you have to pay for stuff. But it is a D100 roll. So
Awesome.
Alex, start us off.
63.
You are husky. You have a 10% extra to eating. It also means that you can officially make yourself rather muscular.
Nice.
That's good. I mean, I got a 43 brawn.
Yep. Husky is considered you're either well-muscled, brimming with curves, or simply a bit overweight. Your choice.
So many curves.
Chuck?
Oh my gosh. I want to go 61 to 80. Oh, 37.
37. You're slender.
Little guy.
God,
Slender
I
is
have
the
never been slender in my whole fat ass life. That's a little disappointing.
This physique is considered to be ideal among the fashionistas. So you have
Oh
like
my
a
God.
model's type frame to you.
Ooh.
You know, it fits.
Hairy mole.
With my there you go. I'm gonna,
Because you're slender, you have a 10% reduction to food cost and armor. Hope?
can we change that through gameplay? Can I just like
Can you-
Shovel it down.
that's not a rule that's in the book yet, Chuck. You know this.
Chuck's about to wind up
Hope's
as a
got
hand
58. Hope, you're normal, so you have no bonus or negative. You're just normal build.
What's normal for an ogre?
Big. According to this, according to this little chart here, that means like 8 foot tall. But we're gonna do height and weight in a bit, so you'll get that separately in a minute.
Wonderful.
This chart, your build determines which chart you roll on for height and weight. So when you get those numbers in a minute, that's where they're gonna come from.
Nice.
Lindy, you're up.
Yeah, that's me. 17. Oh God. my
You
friend.
are frail. You're
Like,
the
I was a convict.
you're the smallest convict.
Child
Smallest, youngest convict.
You
Can't wait to
were
figure out
not
what
made
you
for
did.
prison life, apparently.
So that's why I had to bust out of that place.
That's why you had to
That's
get
how
out.
you escaped. You just walked through the
You
bars.
just slid through the rails.
Just turned sideways. They were never expecting it.
That's awesome.
Just like the Spanish Inquisition.
Jeff, bring us home.
62.
You are also husky.
That's right. That's right.
Beautiful husky dwarf.
No one got corpulent.
Young, ebony-skinned, husky, magnificent bastard.
All
I
right.
love it.
So we have at least one human here somewhere, right? Where are my humans?
I'm a humanish.
Chuck and Lindy are the humans.
I was muted. Yeah, I'm human.
All right.
Humanish.
Technically, our
So-
halfling's human too. So.
As I told you guys for character creation, the one thing you get to pick is your gender pronouns. And those gender pronouns get to be whatever you want them to be. So I don't care which pronouns you want your character to use. We will use them appropriately. But there is a female and a male chart for each of the ancestries that determine, then compiled with your build that you just rolled, what your height and your weight are. If you want to be some manner of either mixed gendered or something that's not straight male or female, just say so, and I will let you pick whichever one of those you want to roll on.
I do want to point out right now that if anyone is interested in Zweihander and you pick up the player's handbook, it has combined that into one chart to
Has it?
remove that.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's
That's
not
cool.
that hard gendered line, which is
That's
way
cool.
more. Yeah,
In my
Way
off-stream Zweihander game, I had somebody who wanted to play someone that was not straight female or male, so I just let them pick whichever chart they wanted. I didn't, it was like,
Right.
just pick whichever one you think is closest to what your character is in your head and just go with it. Like, so
Yeah,
that's what
and
I'm going to
that's-
do for you guys now.
yeah. Great thing they did in the player's
That's
handbook.
cool. I did not know that was in the player's handbook. That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yep.
So for humans, Chuck, that's you, right?
Yes, sir.
Are you going to roll as a male or a female?
I don't know. I'm just going to roll off the player's handbook one, which is
All
just
right,
one
that's
chart.
fine. You just let me know what the results are.
I am 5'8", 100, and I'm normal build or slender build. I'm slender build. I'm 5'8", 145 pounds.
Very good. Alex? Or, I'm sorry, we're on human still, sorry. Lindy, you're the other one, correct?
Well, Alex is technically human, unless he's rolling on the
Yeah.
halfling chart.
Is my mixed ancestry a weird thing?
Which still roll
Oh,
off.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would still roll off of human then. That's true. I forgot. Yeah, you're mixed. I was thinking you're halfling, but you're mixed.
No, he's half halfling.
So it is a D100 roll.
Awesome. 59.
And your build is
Husky.
husky. And you're rolling on male or female? Male?
Male.
Okay. Husky male at 59 gives us 5'10", 229 pounds.
Holy cow.
How big?
He is 5'10", 229 pounds.
With halfling heritage.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's half halfling.
He's half
It's a
half.
really
he got,
big halfling.
He got that.
Yeah.
He got the appetite and the not quite 6 footness.
Oh, I got 90.
Lindy's got a 90,
I'll
and
share
your ancestry again is
Human.
human. And are you rolling on male or female?
Let's roll on female.
Okay. And your build was
Frail.
frail. That's right. At least you rolled
Enormously
high.
frail.
That's gonna counter a little bit of it. You are 5'10", 130.
Wow.
That's
So-
so much taller than me in actuality.
Yeah.
You're as tall as
I
me and
haven't
like
quite-
half as big.
Grown into it yet, though. I'm very
so
young.
let's.
So-
That does it for our humans, right? Jeff, you're a dwarf, so you're the next chart.
All right, let's do this.
Are you going under male?
Yeah, I think I'm going to, so I don't have to try a
And
really
you're husky,
terrible
correct?
voice. You best believe it.
A 15.
15 though.
You are 4'6" and 180 pounds.
Okay. All right. 4'6", 180. All right.
We don't have any elves and gnomes, and our halfling is only a half halfling. So that brings us to ogre.
There we go.
25.
Are you rolling
good
as
ogre.
male, female?
A female.
Female, okay. And that puts you at. You are 8'4"
Jeez.
and 556. Yeah, wait, you're husky, right? Wait,
No,
what is
I'm
you're
normal.
normal. Sorry, 518 pounds.
Good grief.
They're huge.
I really hope you don't go unconscious and we have to carry you anywhere.
Oh,
Not
man.
happening.
You're staying there.
My recent Zweihander character that died, I was a frail halfling, and I was 3'9" and 42 pounds.
Oh,
Man.
Of the mouthiest halfling you ever met your whole life. So
Yeah, you are twice the size of my character. Is true.
yeah.
Actually,
So-
more than twice by a large margin.
The next two rolls that we're going to do are the first for hair color and eye color. So I'm going to have you roll them both at the same time so that I don't have to go through the whole list twice here. And the charts are based off, again, your ancestry. So Alex, give me 2 D100 rolls.
25 and 19.
So for your hair color, as a human, you have dark brown hair, and you have gray eyes. Chuck,
Yes. Let's see.
2 D100 rolls.
So 73 and 36.
73.
What is
Ginger
that?
hair. You're a ginger.
All right.
And your 36 gives you medium brown eyes.
All right. I can handle that.
Hope, 2 D100s.
56.
56 and 90. And you're an ogre. So 56 takes us to... You have gray hair. And you
I like it.
have blue eyes.
Nice.
This character is getting more and more interesting. Just like
Mhm.
picturing this monstrosity of height.
This is the beauty of Zweihander is you no one would pick this combination in their right mind, but this is what you get. So Lindy, give me
Yeah.
your 2 rolls.
63 and 73.
Oh, okay, that confused me. I saw 136 pop up. I'm like, Lindy, you're breaking the rules. The chart doesn't go that far.
Efficiently.
So 63.
63 and 73.
And you're on the human chart, right? Yeah.
Yep.
You are ash blonde hair.
Okay.
And 73. Pale green eyes.
Oh, that's pretty.
There we go.
Jeff, bring us home with a dwarf. 60 and 96.
96.
60 says you have chestnut hair. And
Okay.
96. Green eyes.
All right.
There you go.
The next
Interesting
trait,
look.
the next trait that we're going to roll is your upbringing. And this is where it kind of starts to get a little interesting in the backstory thing, because this is going to tell you what kind of household you were brought up in. So there is one upbringing for each of the attributes, and what this does is this will reduce the cost of focuses under that attribute. So if you were raised in a cultured upbringing, any fellowship focuses that you wanted to purchase, you would get at half. And what a focus does is for that skill, for that specific use of that skill, it completely ignores whatever your peril is currently at. So how I was saying how peril reduces your skills, this makes you immune to peril for the use of that skill for that purpose. So for those of you who played like World of Darkness, think of it like a skill specialization, but instead of adding an extra die, it just lets you use your full skill without, no matter how terrified you are, this is something that you can do if you buy a focus. So we'll talk about focuses more later, but that's the only thing that's going to come out of this. On your character sheet, under each attribute, there's a tiny little circle over in the corner, and whichever one you click on will get a black check mark. That's where you mark your upbringing. So it's a D100 roll. So Alex, start us off.
9.
A 9. You are cultured, so fellowship, which you're no good at, right?
I am no good at.
But it is what you were brought up in. So
Ugh.
I didn't listen to my parents.
You're just really rebellious. Yeah.
Yeah.
this, for some reason, upbringing is always the one role that no Zweihander character ever makes sense for what they've rolled at this point. It always seems to be the one that deviates.
So to make favored primary attribute more useful in my games, I have tied it to like the luck roll from DCC,
Oh, okay.
and that's how I make it more useful. And
That's
there's
interesting.
test rules out that Dan Fox has put out where it's tied your upbringing to your bonuses. So
That'd
maybe
be cool.
it'll be out in a different version of the game.
That'd be cool if he does that down the road.
Yeah.
Check once you roll yours and see what you get.
Yup. 77. That is a
Reverent.
reverence.
So willpower.
All right.
Hmm.
There we go.
Hope.
Okay.
23. You are forgotten. So you have agility.
Huh.
So how do I put that into my sheet?
On agility, there's a tiny little circle in like the bottom left corner where it says agility, like in that box where all those other numbers
Underneath
are.
the number.
You click that and a little black like check mark will appear in it.
Okay.
And all that does is remind you that that's your upbringing. It doesn't calculate
Okay.
anything on the sheet. It's just there. Lindy? You're
58.
58. You're militant. You were brought up in a combat environment.
So,
Character's just getting better and better.
Yeah.
That's what they
that
do.
is
Jeff? A 90.
90.
Scholastic. So you have intelligence as your
Okay. All right.
as your favorite attribute.
Hmm.
What
Now,
was
the
the
next-
name of the fellowship upbringing again, real quick?
It's called cultured.
Culture.
And again, this is, if nothing else, to me, this is just a starting point for when you go to write your background over the next 2 weeks of like, this is how my character grew up, and then you can tell me all about how it, like you would your therapist, you just talk about how it's affected your life. And but now we're going to find out a little more about your upbringing because we're going to roll your social class. There are 3 options for social class. There's lowborn, there is the middle class, which is the burger class, and then there is the aristocrats, which is the upper class. This is a very weighted chart. You have to roll very well to be anything other except lowborn. And Jeff, you get to sit this round out because as a rake, you are automatically lowborn.
That's right. Apparently, I
Yeah.
used to be an aristocrat,
That's right.
but I am now a lowborn.
Rakes are those who used to be part of the aristocracy and got kicked out. So
Yep.
you're automatically lowborn.
Drank and gambled your way down.
To the bottom.
Yeah.
Meh.
So it is a D100 roll. And the other thing it does is it determines your starting money.
Hmm.
It also, in some social situations, is a modifier. There's a lot of talents that if you're dealing with people of other social classes, you get a bonus. Or if you're dealing with the same social class, you get like a bonus. So there's a lot of talents that come up with that later. So Alex, you get to start us off.
D100 again?
Yep. Roll high, think high, be high.
Need a horse. Daddy needs a horse.
Hey, you're
Oh.
lowborn.
Daddy stole a horse.
Never say what you're looking
We'll
for.
get to the horse in a minute. Don't you worry about that. Chuck, you know the deal here.
I know the deal. I'm going for lowborn.
And you got it.
Success.
There we go.
That'd be a band of misfits.
Yeah, we are.
All right,
honestly.
Hope. Let's. Hey, look at that. Another lowborn. Don't feel bad. The odds were in your favor, but you guys are mastering the lowborn here. Like you're not even close.
88.
Oh, hey, now wait a minute.
Oh,
Our
what a
convict.
rich convict.
We have someone of the burger class. So
There you go.
before being a convict, you were, or maybe since being a convict, depending on how you want to roll it, you were in the burger class. Jeff?
I'm gonna roll it just to see what it would have been because it's funny.
Oh, that's right. You're lowborn. I forgot. What would you have gotten, Jeff? You'd have been a lowborn anyway. So
Yeah, I mean, that's just.
So-
Lowborn.
The mastermind of our motley crew.
Now, since you're pretty much all lowborns, except for Lindy, you guys get to roll 3d10 plus 3, and that's how many brass pennies you currently have on you.
That's nice. That's so fancy.
Brass pennies.
3d10 plus what?
3d10 plus 3.
That I got 19 pennies. I'm rich.
Now, on your talents and trappings page, there is a spot there where it shows the 3 currencies: gold crowns, silver shillings, and brass pennies. You can write your amount of coin in the proper spot there for your starting money.
18.
And this is on top of the starting gear you're going to be given from your archetype when we finish. So
Air Laser wants to know when we'll be streaming this on the regular.
every other Sunday, 5 p.m. Central Time, right here on 2KB. Game session 1 then is 2 weeks from today. So
So there is money in here already for me. Maybe from when I put Dragoon in, should I add the 16 to that brass penny number?
Sub it.
Just right over it. There shouldn't be money from anywhere. Nobody starts out with money in this game.
If anything, you start off with debt.
And for the most part, if you're playing in Matt Jowett's games on Grim and Perilous, you don't really get money either. Like, he's stingy with those pennies, man.
Right? You have to steal every penny.
Have to steal everything. We make memes of the guy with his hand out. Like, we make memes about it. We're like, pay me. So, Lindy, your character is of the burger class. So instead of 3d10 brass pennies, you get 2d10 plus 2 silver shillings.
Oh.
That sounds like a lot.
We know who's buying drinks on session 1.
12.
So you have 12 silver shillings. And if you're curious what the conversion rate is,
I am.
it's pretty good, but it's not here at this part of the book. So we'll get to it in a minute. I think it's actually on the character sheet. If you see underneath there, it tells you.
So it's
One goes down 20 silver shillings or 240 brass pennies. I don't know the silver shillings to brass pennies conversion.
12.
Though, so maybe
I think it's
math
12.
that. 12.
So if you calculate out, you'll see how much more wealthy you are than your allies here. That does take us into drawbacks. So
Yeah.
now we talked a little bit about fate points off stream right before we started. Every character starts out with 1 fate point. Oh, we got Zweihander RPG here. Is that Daniel Fox or is it Matt?
Well, they're asking about our professions, so.
Yeah, they must have just gotten here. So go ahead, everyone, real quick, and just read off what your ancestry and your profession is together so that...
Well, I am a mixed ancestry human halfling dragoon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a human smuggler.
Human smuggler. Hope?
Yep.
Uh,
On shot first.
I'm an ogre knave.
What's your profession under Knave?
Good. What was it? Oh, thief spawn.
You're a fence.
Fence, yeah.
Oh no,
You have the class trait of thief spawn.
there it is. Okay, got it.
It's
Don't be
Matt.
too
Okay.
disappointed, it's Matt.
We're just seeing who it was because it could be either one of you, so we're never sure when it shows up who's here. Lindy,
We
go
seem to
ahead.
have a very criminal group.
I'm a human convict.
And Jeff,
I am a dwarf rake.
a dwarf rake.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, we summoned Matt by talking about how little coin he hands out in his games. That's great. It's like right on cue. He's like, I'm here.
It's like my ears are on fire.
We were just rolling up coins, and I was saying about how hard it is to get coins sometimes in Zweihander, because NPCs don't want to pay. So, we were talking a little bit about drawbacks. So, everyone gets 1 fate point. So, on your character sheet, up there near the top, you'll see where it says fate point. And what a fate point does is if for any reason your character should die or suffer an injury, you can spend a fate point to just say, that didn't happen to me, and it didn't happen to you. They are incredibly hard to get more of. You have to fill up your entire order side of your alignment chart in order to get a new fate point. So, the other way you get a fate point, if you want to start the game with 2 of them, for a lot of character security instead of 1, is you take a drawback. And that's where we're at. Now, drawbacks they come with a mechanical disadvantage if you take one. But for your efforts, you will be given a fate point by which to overcome it for the rest of the game. So, who is interested in a drawback? You do not have to take one. Alex?
I'll take a drawback. Let's
You
do
take a
it.
drawback? I think they're fun. I like them.
I'm brave.
D100.
I'm about to be scared of horses or something as a dragoon.
That would be great.
That would be fun.
93.
93. Oh man. You have a veteran's hand.
Oh boy.
You are
Does it mean I
missing
have
a
plastic
hand.
You
Nope.
were so young.
It has been cut off.
Oh no.
Which one?
You get to pick, but I would not take the dominant one because you don't want to know what the disadvantage for offhand attacks are in this game.
Yeah.
Whether it was lopped off at the hands of a vicious mercenary or somehow torn asunder from the complex cogs of a war machine, you lost your hand long ago. In its place is an iron prosthesis. Clumsy to attach to, difficult to use, a webbing of leather straps it to your arm, to the wrist and elbow. The mechanical effect says, you cannot hold weapons which are two-handed, and must flip the results to fail any skill test requiring the use of both hands.
Yikes.
Well, I'm going to say that my character is left-handed if I'm allowed to.
Whichever
My
one
right
hand you
hand's
want it to be, yeah, there's no other mechanical difficulties until you try to use both hands. So
Cool. So my right hand is missing.
if it was your dominant hand, you have compensated fully by now, and you're good to go. Okay, so after hearing that, does anyone else want to draw back?
I'll take one.
Chuck's saying no.
Wait a
You're not
minute.
taking one, Chuck?
I'm disappointed in Chuck.
I thought you would live more dangerously than that, Chuck.
Listen, like, no, I am living more dangerously by not taking a drawback.
Just the one fate point. That's what you're going
Just
for. Okay.
I'm going in with one fate point. So
All right. Hope,
Yeah, I'll take one.
you're going to take one? An 8.
All extreme around here.
You're a bleeder.
Okay.
Great.
Your blood just doesn't clot easily. You're hemophiliac.
Oh,
This means
Oh,
that you
no.
bruise like a peach when hurt, and you spurt like a stuck pig whenever you're injured. Whenever you are treated with the heal skill, when someone tries to heal you with the skill, a caregiver suffers an additional negative 20 base chance unless they expend an additional bandage. That's brutal.
That seems rough.
right.
It's a good thing our biggest person is the hardest to heal.
That's right.
There's just so much blood in you.
There's a lot of blood. The
Yeah.
extra bandage. Yep.
We're
It's
going
like
to
a
be
very
buying
rice
packs by the ton.
So just write that somewhere on the traits. Like I said, this is drawbacks are one of the things I will program into your Talents and Trappings page, so you can just click it, so you can just reread it anytime you need to know what it is.
Okay.
But for that, you do get an extra fate point. That's good.
All right.
All right. So, Lindy, how are you feeling? We've had some pretty brutal drawbacks so far.
I know.
I feel like we should all take one.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards it, I think.
Do it.
Do it.
It's more strangeness.
Let's find out what happened in prison, Lindy.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I'm a very young
You are a convict. So, hey, Kingfishy, thanks for stopping by.
20.
A 20. You have a crop ear.
Okay.
You've lost an ear, and for it,
Okay.
you are flipped to fail on any awareness test that
Wow.
requires hearing.
That's on hearing. That's
Yep.
fine. I don't need to hear to escape prison.
So you can pick which ear you lost, but you lost an ear.
Cool.
You must have lost it going through the bars. You were
You had-
skinny enough until the ear.
You had
And I
to
was
cut
like,
the ear off
What-
to fit through.
One sharp bar, and I was like,
Maybe it was
Just
maybe
take
it was
the whole
some
thing.
sort of like a prison gang sort of thing where you had to lose an ear to be in or something. You
maybe. Yeah.
can go a lot of different
All right.
directions with it. So
it's pretty
Jeff,
cool. All right.
I know you're taking one, aren't you?
Oh yeah. I mean, I have the chance to lose my Dwarven Warfare ability by losing a hand. Why not? Let's do this. 7.
7.
I think I'm also a hemophiliac.
Nope. You have a black cataract.
What?
One of your eyes. Your eye has grown over with a glaucoma or suffered major trauma in a fight or accident. As a result, you have difficulty making out distances and depth. It's not to say that you cannot see, but you face extreme hardships, unable to discern between friend and foe at times.
That's fantastic.
Whenever you miss with an attack action, using a ranged weapon, you must re-roll the result with the same difficulty rating. If it's a success, you strike a random ally who is engaged with your target.
You know what's amazing about this is my perception was already a really low number, 36. And my dooming was, you shall not see the end.
See? See? I'm telling you.
Hey,
You have to believe in the process of random character creation to get to this
That's
point,
great.
Jeff.
I get to have an eye patch.
If you want one, yeah.
That's cool.
I want a chainsaw hand.
So
Oh, yes. Yes.
we are finally to our order and chaos alignments. And those, again, are at the top of that page with that big corruption circle in the center. Your order one goes on order. Your chaos one comes over there on the other side. And they are rolled as a pair normally. They are paired up in ways that somewhat make sense. If you want to go just full chaos and roll them separately, I'll let you. But otherwise, you get them as a pair. So, Alex, a D100 roll, and we'll find out what your
27.
Nice.
Your order alignment is dignity. Your chaos alignment is vehemence.
How dare you?
Dignity. I didn't think we would have any of that in our party.
Chuck?
So,
98.
There we go.
Chuck is zeal for his order alignment.
Fanaticism.
And fanaticism for his
That's
chaos
weird.
alignment.
Fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Hope.
All right.
A 3.
Just very extreme
Your
numbers.
order alignment is adaptation. And your chaos alignment is mayhem.
Yes.
Like it.
Lindy? A 1.
Whoa.
You too have adaptation and mayhem.
Makes a lot of sense.
Wow.
That does
I feel
make a
like
lot
we,
of sense. Yeah.
we may know each other.
Jeff?
Way to be a convict. So we can go the opposite.
39. You have duty and fatalism.
Oh, okay. Not what I was expecting. Fatalism, you said?
Yep, fatalism.
Okay. All right. Leaving it up to fate. Or duty.
That's right.
That's a very dwarvy thing.
So, we are at the end of all the random rolls. You have completed the random part of character generation. Now, the other thing we have to do is you do have some choices about equipment that you start with. So
Okay.
what we're going to do is we're going to go back here to the beginning. We're going to find our charts for our archetypes. And I will go down through them with you. And I don't expect you to write all this down. Like I said, your starting trappings are based on archetype. We did not have any academics, correct? No
Correct.
academics. We did not have any commoners, I don't believe. Which brings us to our knaves. We had at least a couple of knaves, right?
Yep.
There's a 3 of you? Yeah, because you're smuggler, right? Chuck's a 3 knaves?
Yep.
Okay. So you will start with anti-venom. You get either dark clothes or tattered rags. So on one of your trait lines down there, write down that you want either dark clothes or tattered rags.
I'll just throw this out here. Mine is done, and I went with dark clothes.
I figured you did.
Mhm. Tattered rags.
You get Folksbane times 3. A gaff bag. And then you have a choice between garish attire or second-hand attire.
I went secondhand.
You get a holy symbol, of which you get to pick which deity your holy symbol is that you have on you. And we'll discuss those between sessions. I'm not going to go through all the deities right now. You get a set of lock picks, a mantle, which in the core rulebook did absolutely nothing. But in Main Gauche, they made a mantle actually useful. So
Oh, did they? Okay.
yes, it actually works somewhat like a shield.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So if you see mantle in Main Gauche on the equipment list, Chuck, you'll notice they gave mantles to everyone when they were no bonuses, and then in Main Gauche they put the rules for a mantle in there. So we will discuss what that does. If you have a mantle, I will add it onto your sheet. You don't have to worry about
All
it.
right.
Just list it for now. Soft shoes. A stiletto, which is a weapon that you will get. Everyone who's a knave will get a stiletto. And then you'll get to choose one. And this is kind of where you have to decide, based on your character, kind of what you want. And if you have questions, this is where you'll be a good chance to ask. You can start with a blackjack. We can run around and sap people with it. It is considered a brawling weapon, if that makes a difference to anyone. A
I think it
garrote.
makes sense for me.
Yeah, it might for you for that ability that you have. You might want to take a blackjack. Or you could take a garrote,
Oh, my favorite.
Oh, it's so good.
which, those are for choking people out.
Yeah, it's not a brawling weapon though, is it?
No, I don't think it's considered a brawling weapon. I'd have to relook, but I don't think
Feels
it
like
is.
it could be, but maybe not.
And then it's an ineffective weapon. It doesn't do damage. It only
Doesn't do damage.
It does a
inflicts
chokehold.
peril.
Yeah.
Oh.
It inflicts chokehold, the perilous stunt chokehold on someone. So, and then there's a flintlock pistol with gunpowder and 6 shots. Is your last option.
buddy.
No.
I got my gat.
Now, I usually let people pick whatever they want to, but I get this a lot. Is that if I take the gun, can I sell it?
No, why would you do that?
And the answer is yes. If you take the gun, you can sell it because it's the most expensive piece of equipment on that list. But maybe if our fence wanted to do that for those purposes,
I have money.
But
Very talented fence.
just so you know, yeah, I mean you technically can. So if you're a knave, you get to pick either that blackjack, the garrote, or flintlock pistol, and just make sure it's marked somewhere on your sheet. Like I said, I will program all that fancy stuff in there after the fact. Do we have a ranger?
Socialite.
Everyone went away from ranger, didn't they? So, socialite.
Mm-hmm.
You have a coin purse, fancy shoes, fashionable clothing, a foppish hat. Everyone gets a holy symbol.
Yeah.
You get a weapon, which is a knuckle duster. You have a set of brass knuckles.
Okay.
You get mandrake root times 3.
Hold on a second. Go a little quick for me.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm going to put all this on the sheets later, but
okay.
I'm just reading it to you now. You get a mantle, just like they do. You also get neck ruff, a shoulder bag, a writing kit, and you get to choose one of the following. Would you like throwing knives? A set of 3. Would you like a rapier? Or would you like a walking cane, which is an improvised hand weapon?
Is the walking cane two-handed?
No. None of those are two-handed.
I foresee this guy being an aristocrat falling to the lowborn. He's got to have a cane.
You want the walking cane?
Yeah. You got
Yeah.
to, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you take the walking cane. It is an improvised hand weapon. That's what it will appear as on your sheet. I will write in walking cane, but it is stat-wise an improvised hand weapon. Again, all weapons do a d6, so you're not worried about how much damage you're going to do. It's just all the other little bonuses that come into play. If I see anything glaringly nerfing by picking a certain weapon when it comes to the traits that are involved, I will point it out to you between game sessions, and I'll let you change it before game 1. But for right now, we'll assume that you're going with that. Was your agility really high, by the way?
Yes, it was, actually.
Then you probably want the rapier, because it's a finesse weapon that will use agility for damage instead of walking cane as an improvised hand weapon. I think is going to use combat, which you're not.
All right.
So you might want to go with rapier.
Can I have a sword cane?
No.
All right.
Okay.
So you might want the rapier just for that purpose. But
all right.
it still attacks with combat, but it damages with agility. So
all right. I'll write down rapier.
Brawling weapons work the opposite way also. They attack with combat, do damage with brawn. Mm-hmm. Combat weapons do attack and damage with combat. So that's the difference between those. So that's it for Socialite. And Warrior.
That's me.
Now, I have never done a cost-benefit analysis in Zweihander, but I am quite positive that the Warriors get the most gold worth of stuff to start out the game.
Probably.
So, you start with a fire-hardened spear, which is a weapon.
I paid an arm and a leg for it. Or just an arm for it.
You also get heavy boots. You get a lantern. You get 3 laudanums. Now, we haven't talked about this part of the game yet, but in Zweihander, there's no magical healing spells. Your ability to survive is based on someone's heal check, and the only health potion in the game is a laudanum.
Tasty.
And you can only take...
Or I'm going to ignore how bad this hurts potion.
It will bring you back up 1 health level for each one you take, and you can only take 1 in a 24-hour period because they're made with opiates. And if you take an additional one, it goes the other direction and actually harms you. So,
now, also, an important note, any drugs you take during this game earn you corruption. So
yeah,
even taking a healing potion gets you corruption.
You get corruption for taking healing potions in Zweihander. I see Matt's got his little question mark there. There is one healing spell, and you have to be a specific caster profession at intermediate tier to get it. And I guarantee you none of you are taking it. So there will be no magic healing in this game, I guarantee you.
Get that magic out of here.
You got military attire, an oil pot. You have red cap mushrooms, a rucksack. You got a suit of leather armor. You're the only one with armor in this group, by the way.
Say.
You have 3 tinctures. Now, if laudanums are the bring my health level back up, a tincture is the this didn't hurt so bad potion. It lets you ignore an injury for 24 hours. So you can ignore the effects of an injury for 24 hours with a tincture. It also gives you corruption, but at least you don't have to deal with your injury for a while. And then you get a wooden shield. And you get to choose one of the following. You can choose an arbalist crossbow with some bolts, 9, or a mortuary sword, or a pike.
You know what? I think we're going to go with the mortuary sword.
It is a good choice.
Yeah, that's pretty badass.
The mortuary
Unless you can
sword
jump.
comes with the trait Vicious. And Vicious means that when you're checking for injuries, you roll an extra d6 to see if you inflict an injury. So it is good for injuring people.
Can I strap my wooden shield to my iron prosthesis?
Yes, I will let you do that.
I feel like what you want in a weapon is injuries, right?
Yeah.
Just putting that out there. Yeah.
That seems like the one good thing you can do with that arm, probably, is have a shield strapped to it. Alright, so that covers all of our character choices. So we're going to go ahead here and just have a real quick talk again about what we're going to do for the next couple of weeks. So you have, now that you've completed character creation, you have this fledgling newborn character that just came kicking and screaming into the world. And you get a couple of weeks now before game session 1 to figure out who this character really is. You get to give it a name. You get to take all those little tidbits of things you just learned about your character and write up a backstory for me. You don't have to go terribly like into detail. And then we're going to spend a little time. I have a link I'm going to give you here in our chat channel and Discord when we're done for DM Heroes. It's a cool little site where you can make a little portrait of your character. Feel free to play around with it. I use it as the default for making tokens, so I will use your portrait that you make to make your token. You can play around with that. It's tons of fun. And then I will load those onto your sheets, and I will get everything else done for you. At this point, do any of you have any questions for me at this point?
Apologies if I missed this earlier, but do we know anything about Huttenberg?
You want a little backstory on the city? Yeah.
Yeah, is that where we're going to be from, or just where we're going to be?
Well, that is one of the things I was gonna get to here in just a second, is whether you guys
awesome.
want to all come into this individually and meet each other in game session 1, or if you want to come in as a party, having assumed that you all met and are already having known each other, because y'all need to write that into your collective backgrounds if that's going to be the case.
I think we should all know each other, and we're in a traveling group of adventurers called the Stranger Dangers. Or no, wait, Danger Strangers. That's where it's at.
I could be down with that.
The Danger Strangers.
And we seem like a type of group that would be well connected. I mean, you got a fence, a criminal, a rake, a smuggler, and a dragoon. Like, what are we all about? Obviously, we're doing something shenanigan-y.
We're doing crimes.
Might be some crimes involved in this game. That seems to be par for the course. So, so if you guys want to run as some sort of small band of criminals, like, we can definitely make that happen. If you all want to, if you've assembled the team for a heist or whatever it is you think you want to be doing, I'll definitely work that in. As far as Huttenberg, the town itself goes, Huttenberg is a pretty well-to-do town. If you were to watch the episodes of Terra and Treefell, you will see that that game started in Huttenberg, an incident happened, and then those characters were ushered out of town after a short quarantine and sent to Treefell, where they then encountered all sorts of crazy stuff. But one thing that you would learn during that campaign was that for years people had been leaving Treefell because it was becoming more and more of a rundown little speck village and heading back to Huttenberg where there was still civilization. Because Huttenberg got all kind of the fame and glory for its industry and building siege equipment for the war and everything else, even though all the resources were coming from Treefell, people kind of forgot about it after the war. This area had heavy orcs infestation like 60 years ago or so. There was a big fight over the whole ordeal. Orcs in Zweihander are and are not at the same time in Ancestry. They technically are a disease. They can spread through a fungus called orc spore, orc smolt, and you gain a disease called orc smolt, and then when you die, you have a chance then that you will raise up as an orcs a couple of days later. So every time orcs come and they raid, anytime they kill, their weapons are coated with spore because it literally grows on their bodies, and they, in their wake, new orcs rise up and go join the warband. So they're as much a disease as anything else. So there was a group called Plague Doctors that discovered the cure for orc smolt, and along with the siege that was built in Huttenberg, they were able to ward off the orcs. And so Huttenberg was then celebrated as the place where the siege equipment that saved the kingdom was then forged. So they're known for their artisans and their crafting, and they're known for being a hub of that sort of stuff. And so people have been flooding back to Huttenberg from smaller outside villages because the places where those resources were needed are no longer needed because there's no war. And they dealt with the rural aspect of it in Terra and Treefell. They got this small little community of backwards, hill people who very humdrum, but Huttenberg is more lights and action. So that's where you guys will be adventuring, is through Huttenberg.
It's a big city.
It's a bigger city. It's not as big as the capital of Valandria, but it's getting there. Actually, did I put the map on here? I did not put the map on here, but I will put the map on there, and you'll get to see it when we come for game session 1.
All right. Well, that's going to be interesting. So do we get any skills or anything that we have to write down, or is it just straight out what we got right now?
Okay, so every profession has a chart that accompanies it, and I will be putting that under your rewards and tiers.
Okay.
And every profession has 10 skills that it considers its in-profession skills. You then also have 7 advanced bonuses.
Okay.
You guys seem like everybody is frozen up on my screen. Is everybody freezing up?
A few
That
people
means
have been.
you're
Yeah.
This is what we get for using Discord video.
Yeah, you're right. That's probably the truth. Hold on just a second here.
I have a pros Zoom account if we ever use that.
Yeah, same.
Same.
Well, we'll see. So what I have, what you do after that is once you have all of those put into rewards and tiers, you get to go through and spend a certain amount of RP. A standard Zweihander character spends 1,000 at this point to pick what skills, advanced bonuses, and the 3 talents for their profession that you get. And you spend those in any combination that you want to spend them.
Can I give a correction on that? It's 900. Because
Hold
the
on.
first 100. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
Yeah, no, you're right, Chuck. It's actually 900. You have to spend 100 just to be a profession. So they give you 1,000 and then make you spend 100 just to have that trait, essentially, that you're a profession. Then you spend 900 more. I'm going to be increasing that number that you're getting at character creation because I want you to hit intermediate tier before you would hit intermediate tier normally. So you're actually going to get to spend more than that.
Now, that's exciting.
So
that is pretty nice.
When we hit intermediate tier, you have to fill out all the dots for your rewards and tiers. You have to buy everything before you can move up to intermediate tier. Now, unlike character creation, what we did here today, when you hit intermediate tier, I get to just basically hand you the books and say, pick a profession that you now want to add to the profession you rolled. So Zweihander, you start out with this character that's this ball of chaos, and then you get to figure out what you want it to be going forward. So as you hit intermediate tier, you get a whole new profession on top of your current profession. You get to use all the bonuses and everything from both, and XP prices double. So the growth gets slower at that point. And then you hit advanced tier way down the road, and you get to pick a third profession on top of it. So there's a lot of expert professions that have prerequisites that you can't be right now at basic tier. They were not options on the charts. When you hit intermediate tier, you get access to those if you have the prerequisites.
Gotcha.
There is the ability to have unique bonuses, unique advances. And what that says is that there's a skill that you really want that you don't have. If you want to take something essentially it's like an out-of-class skill, you have to pay extra RP to swap out one skill for the skill that you have in your tree. And usually the only one that I advise that someone maybe do that at character creation, and in Terra and Tree, I'll actually let them do this for free, is someone should have heal. That's the only one. So if no one has heal, someone should probably consider maybe swapping out something for heal. And I might even let you do it for free, because not having somebody who can slap bandages on is brutal in this game. So
It's not on my list.
I don't think any of you have it.
I don't think so.
Nope. Who needs
Hey.
to heal, right?
If nobody
They didn't teach me
wants
that
to do it.
in school.
What?
They didn't teach me that in Dragoon school.
They didn't teach you that in Dragoon school? Oh.
No.
It was my outrider in Terra and Tree took it and then became a plague doctor. So
Did you say we can hot swap one of those for free?
I will let you hot swap one if it's important enough to your character concept.
I would be willing to take one for the team and take that heal.
What are you gonna remove from your profession as a smuggler?
Counterfeit.
Okay. So you can take counterfeit off and put heal in there, and you will be the designated healer.
A smuggler that can't counterfeit.
I don't know. Maybe he smuggles
Listen.
medical goods.
I sneak things. I've got a counterfeiter friend here in the crew.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you have a fence. So
I've
Yep.
got a fence.
you
Yeah.
have a fence.
Listen,
Effective.
every good smuggler knows you're going to get shot from time to time.
It's just a thing that happens. I mean,
100%.
So that is kind of where we are at here with character creation then. So what I will do is I will spend time tonight and tomorrow during the day getting all the things in your rewards and tiers plugged in. I will give you your total number of XP or RP that I'll be giving you to spend, and you will be then picking a certain number of dots on your character sheet to tell me what you got or what you want. The only other thing that we might want to go over right now, if you want to hear them, is I think I read everyone's profession traits to them when they pick their profession, except maybe Dragoon. I may not have mentioned what Dragoon does. So we'll cover it real fast. And then every profession has 3 talents. Talents really do make a big difference in how your profession functions in the game.
just looked up one of mine. It's
Yeah.
going to be Combo
So-
City.
We have first, let's talk about what Dragoon does just as a class feature. So as I find it, here's Dragoon. Your profession trait's called Here Comes the Cavalry. When you fail an animal handle or ride test, you may re-roll to generate a better result, but you must accept the outcome. In addition, when using the movement subtype of ride, you do not have to spend the additional 1 AP. So you get to ride for free. Oh, which brings me to the last thing we have to do. I knew I was forgetting something. Chuck, why didn't you remind me? We have to do iconic trappings.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's important.
That's important. So everyone gets an iconic trapping. And an iconic trapping is some piece of equipment, gear, or a horse that you can't afford, but you need to be your character.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it can be literally anything. It can have stats, you can pick a weapon, you can pick armor, you can pick a horse if you need a horse. If you want to have a set of surgical tools, you can take surgical tools, like any iconic piece of equipment that is so tied to your character's being that you have to have it to survive.
Okay.
And it's free. Absolutely free. So Alex,
just
Extra question: does the horse come with a saddle, or do I need to get the saddle too?
the horse will come saddled.
And is there a difference between warhorse and regular horse?
In Main Gauche there is. They have a few horse options if you are interested.
Well, if I could take a war horse of some description, I would
Yeah,
take that as an icon.
I'll give you the beefiest war horse there is if you want it.
You'll take it.
I mean, it's an iconic trapping. You get to pick it. So
I'm husky, so I need a big
you
tough
need
like
a big horse, don't you? All right then. So let's see if I can find it on here real quick for. So much stuff. War machines. You don't need a war machine. Here we go. Horses. On the next page.
Change my mind on a siege tower.
Okay, so you could take a the biggest horse it has on here is a Rouncy horse. So, and it's worth worth 100 gold crowns if you want to know how expensive your iconic trapping is.
I stole it from a noble.
I am not giving you the war elephant in case you look it up. It's not. That's not happening. You can get a horse though.
That's dirty. That's dirty.
So
he helped me break out of prison. You expect me to just abandon him like that?
Right?
Chuck, do you have an iconic trapping that you'd like to pick?
Yes, I do. I've got a blunderbuss, man. Like, what kind of smuggler doesn't have a shoddy?
All right, you're going to take a blunderbuss.
I'm going to take a blunderbuss.
So, Hope, do you have any kind of idea of something you want to take as an iconic trapping?
Is there a list? I don't know what to be looking at.
It's there's like whole sections of trappings. I can, if you don't want to pick anything right now, I can discuss things that you might need as a.
Yeah, them.
But I didn't know if there was anything in particular, like armor or anything that you felt was like necessary for your fencing.
Maybe. Yeah, I have to think about it.
Okay, I'll shoot you some options for an iconic trapping, and we can come to game one with it. Lindy, do you have any idea of anything you might need for your character at this point?
I have no idea.
Jeff, are you feeling
Same boat. I don't know yet.
Okay, well, we'll work on iconic trappings in for everybody through.
I will throw out there that iconic trappings is probably the most difficult part of character creation, because there's just it's fucking Wild West. Like, you want an item or yeah.
Yeah, it is a rough one unless you're taking something that's obviously needed. Like if you're a barber surgeon and you're lowborn, you're like, I need surgical tools to do my job, so you take surgical tools. Like if you're an outrider or a dragoon, you're like, I have to have a horse. Like then you end up with a horse. So I'm pretty sure that's where that rule comes from to begin with, is for something like that. So that's kind of where we're going to wrap things for right now. Then so. Let's go ahead and we'll go back down again. You can all take a moment to tell people where they can find you at. Alex, go ahead and start us off.
Yeah, hi. My name's Alex, and you can find me at Twitter /AlexanderWright3. I'm the author of The Magician's Sin and one of the head DMs over at the Untold Stories Project. We'll actually be having our first stream this Tuesday.
Oh, that's fantastic. What time?
It'll be at 7 p.m. at twitch.tv/Untold Stories. We'll be doing a fantasy noir meets golden age superhero set in the universe of my novels. So I'm really excited about it.
Oh, that's super cool. Chuck?
Oh, man. I'm HBIC over at Defenders of Cobalt. We're a live play, actual play stream. We've got all sorts of different games. Check it out. I'm also one of the resident GMs for the Zweihander Twitch channel. I don't know. Like, I do stuff and things, and it's great. Check me out in places.
All right. Hope?
Hi. You can find me on Twitter at RealHopeLavelle. It's REEL, like a film reel. And catch me on Beyond Heroes on the D&D Beyond Twitch channel. It's 2 to 4 PST.
And Lindy?
Hi, yeah, you can find me online at LaughLoveLindy, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. I play and GM a lot of tabletop RPGs. You can find me playing D&D on Monday, Tuesdays, my channel, Witcher on Wednesdays on Tales from the Grim, some Cypher System on Fridays on Tales from the Grim. There's a bunch more, so just follow me on Twitter for what I'm doing when.
All right, and Jeff?
Well, I'm part of the TT2KB team, so you'll see me here all the time. I hang out with Dustin on Monday nights for our talk show, The Wisdom Check. I will be joining with Cam on his show, Bardic Knowledge, on Tuesdays. Wednesday night, I run a Pathfinder 2e game here. Thursday night, I also play in our video game night. And on Saturdays, I also play in our 5e tabletop game, the Everstorm. So, full week all the time.
That's right. If you join up on our Discord, you'll be able to keep up with all the things me and Jeff do around here, along with our friends here at Tabletop to Keyboard. This game, again, will run every other Sunday, 5 p.m. to, I think, like 9 p.m., I think is what I quoted, but it may not go quite that long most times. Probably about 3-hour sessions. And we will see how things go from there. So, again, for the next 2 weeks, your job is to get a little character portrait with DM Heroes made. I'll be giving you guys the link for that. Get me a little backstory written up about who your character is, and we will figure out how much you know about each other and what you're doing, and I will give you some few plot details to get us started. And other than that, you'll find me here again Monday night with Jeff for the Wisdom Check. Our guest will be Velik from Smart Gamer Network. He has started a TTRPG show over there called Mask and Mimicry, and we're going to be talking about setting mood in games, and we're going to be talking a little bit about adding some voices and fun stuff to your NPCs. So you'll be able to join us 10 p.m. for that, and we will catch you tomorrow